Hi, I'm Katie Halcrow with Power Up Prep, and I'm super excited today to take you through some tips and strategies to help you power up your ACT. If this is your first time with us, first, welcome. Second, check out the link below. There, you're going to find the ACT questions and the note sheets that you can do along with these videos. All right, so let's get those materials together, and we're going to be ready to power up. Okay, so we just talked about apostrophes with pronouns and how pronouns never have apostrophes to show possession, but nouns always have apostrophes to show possession. It just depends on where that apostrophe is going to go. So that's what we're going to dig into here. So if we have a noun and we need to show possession because that noun is owning something, then we need to place an apostrophe. So how do we do it? Let's look at an example. Okay, so first example is one boy's bikes. When we're doing these, what we first want to ask ourselves is, number one, who owns what? So in this example, one boy's bikes, the boy, because there's just one boy, so the boy owns the bikes. So we've defined our owner. Once we know our owner, we want to put a box around our owner. So we're going to put a box around boy. Notice that the box doesn't go around the S, it just goes around the boy. So once you put the box around boy, step 3 is that your apostrophe goes right at the end of the box. So right above where your box ends, that's where your apostrophe goes. So for one boy's bikes, it's B-O-Y apostrophe S. Okay, so let's try it again, and this time with the second example, two girls' bikes. So in this case, we're going through the same process. Number one, who owns what? Well, the two girls own the bikes. So we're going to put a box around the word girls, the whole word girls. Then at the end of that box, step 2, so step 2 was putting the box, and then step 3 is we're putting the apostrophe right at the end of the box. So G-I-R-L-S apostrophe, because girls is the owner. We put a box around girls, and then we put apostrophe where the box ends. Okay, now we're going to look at a whole sentence, and this one is a little bit more complicated. So, what about the children's bikes' wheels are too large for their bikes? This has a lot going on in it. So, first question though is who owns what? You're probably saying the children own the bikes, and that is true. So the children own the bikes. Notice it's not the children's own the bikes. Sometimes people think if it's a plural word, the apostrophe has to go after the S always, but that's not true. Children is a plural word by itself. So the children own the bikes. We put a box around children, and then we put our apostrophe at the end of that box, so between the N and the S. So it's going to be CHILDREN apostrophe S for children's bikes. Now, is there anything else in this sentence that needs possession? Like, is there any other owner? And yes, the answer is yes. So the children's bikes' wheels. So the wheels belong to the bikes. So the bikes own the wheels. There's multiple bikes because there's multiple children. And so we know that the wheels belong to the bikes. So we put a box around our word bikes, like the whole word bikes, and then we put our apostrophe at the end of the box. So B-I-K-E-S apostrophe is what we want for this one. All right, so now, is there anything else in this sentence that has an ownership or like is doing some possessing? And the answer is no, even though the end of the sentence has the word bikes in it. And so sometimes people think, oh, well, maybe we do need another apostrophe there. That bikes isn't owning anything. So the children's bikes' wheels are too large for their bikes. Those bikes aren't doing any ownership, so we don't need an apostrophe there. All right, so just remember 3 steps when you see apostrophes. So you can recognize an apostrophe question because the answer choices will have apostrophes in them. And so if you see that and there's a noun and there needs to be possession, you ask yourself, number 1, who owns what? Number 2, you put a box around the owner. And then number 3, you put an apostrophe at the end of your box. You'll be all set? All right, let's go. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them below. We love to hear from you. Also, if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button so that you won't miss out on any of our curriculum or other tips and tricks that can help you power up your ACT.